George always said that Star Wars isn't about power, it's about compassion. And that's something a lot of fans miss. The lightsabers, the duels, the battles, they're all the backdrop. They're what make it look pretty. But the real story of Star Wars is about the moral choices that come with power, and how compassion, not strength, is what defines a true Jedi. In the making of The Phantom Menace, George explained that the prequels were designed to show the opposite of that idea. How an entire generation of Jedi confused control for peace and strength for virtue. George said this: "The Jedi think that power is about control, but a Jedi's power comes from letting go." And that's the paradox at the heart of the Force, I think, that the Sith seek to dominate it while the Jedi are supposed to surrender to it. But by the time of The Phantom Menace, the Jedi have forgotten how. They've turned the Force, something fluid and natural, into a system of hierarchy and obedience. They mistake order for balance. They've lost their compassion, George says. They still talk about it, but they don't live it. And this is why Qui-Gon Jinn exists. He's the only Jedi, and my favorite, who still understands what the Force is really about. Not a source of power, but a living presence that connects all things. Qui-Gon's strength is compassion, George said. He listens to the Force, and he cares about people, not systems. That's what separates him from the Council. That's why he never really was on the Council, is because they obey code, whereas Qui-Gon follows the will of the Force. And that's why he finds Anakin, and why they don't. Anakin's story is built around that same lesson, that he has incredible power, but no understanding of how to use it. He wants to help people, but he can't accept loss. He can't let go. Anakin wants to save everyone, George says. That's not love. That's fear of losing them, and fear leads to the dark side. So while Anakin's intentions were good, they definitely ended up the opposite of where he wanted to be. The tragedy is that the Jedi don't help him overcome that fear, and that's the main problem that I've discussed in previous videos as well. They tell him to suppress it and to bury it, and when he can't, they judge him for it. They never teach him compassion, only control, and that's what pushes him to Palpatine. Now, Palpatine manipulates Anakin by pretending to offer what the Jedi never did: understanding. He tells him that caring too much isn't a weakness, it's in fact a strength. But that's the lie of the Sith. They use love as a weapon. The Sith use passion for selfish ends, George said. The Jedi use compassion for selfless ones. That's the difference. Passion consumes, compassion frees. And that's the choice that Luke faces decades later in Return of the Jedi. It's like poetry. It rhymes. When the Emperor goads Luke into striking Vader down, it's not a battle of strength, it's a test of compassion. The Emperor wants Luke to confuse love with power, just like his father did. He wants him to save his friends by destroying his enemy. And for a moment, Luke gives in. He attacks, overpowered by rage and fear, until he looks down at his father's severed hand and realizes the truth. That's when he throws away his lightsaber and says, "I am a Jedi, like my father before me." That's the moment that the saga turns. It's not a moment of defiance, it's surrender. Luke's victory comes from refusing to fight. His compassion redeems Anakin, restores balance to the Force, and proves what George had been saying all along. The ultimate act of a Jedi is compassion. George always contrasted that with Sith ideology. To the Sith, compassion is weakness, a distraction from power. To the Jedi, it's the highest form of strength. The Force is not about strength, George says. It's about understanding. The Jedi win by saving, not by killing. And that's why Luke succeeds where the old Jedi failed. He's not fighting for the Republic. He's not fighting to win. He's fighting to save his father. And in doing so, he becomes everything the Jedi were supposed to be, everything Anakin was supposed to be. Now, Anakin's story ends where it began, with love. It was twisted into fear, and when, he fell, everything went awry, but it was purified into compassion when he was saved, which then allowed him to fulfill the prophecy. And that's what George wanted the audience to understand, that power isn't the lesson of Star Wars. Mercy is, because anyone can be powerful, a Sith, a general, even a politician. But compassion? That's divine. It's balance, and it's what makes a Jedi. Let me know what you guys think about this. I love covering these behind the scenes books, how it was made and all that. So definitely going to go through episode 2 and episode 3 in great detail like I have in the past, but I'm going through it and uncovering things that I've never really made videos about. And I find that to be so much more interesting and just fun. And I see some of the videos pop off really well. Some of you guys really like them. They enter the mainstream, and that's great. But for the core audience of us, 10,000 or so per video, I'm so thankful that you guys are here to watch this and really nerd out with me on this kind of stuff. So thanks so much again, and enjoy the next video.